You fall in a long line of great actors that have played multiple roles in a project. I think of Lindsay Lohan.
Mm-hmm, sure. By the way, great movie.
No, seriously.
And incredible job she did.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has done it many times.
Zelda Van Damme.
I think back to your friend on Friends, Lisa Kudrow. She played twins. Did you go back to
That's right.
ask Lisa what it was like?
No, I didn't. Part of the reason why I never talked to any of them is I don't have any of their phone numbers.
Congratulations on the show. Let's get that out of the way. You made an excellent show. Living with Yourself is the new series. It answers the question, what's better than one Paul Rudd?
I find that highly debatable.
There's a lot to chew on as an actor for this. What's the most unintended or the unanticipated challenge of something like this? I mean, you know the challenge is going in. You're going to essentially have to play a lot of scenes to yourself.
Right.
There's a lot of technical stuff that goes into that.
Well, there's the first of all, the big challenge with that is how do you do it?
Yep.
And I went into it not really knowing exactly how I would go about doing it. And so I talked to other people who have done this kind of thing. I talked to Sam Rockwell, who shot the movie Moon, where he's playing opposite himself. And I came to the understanding that a lot of times actors will use scene partners, and then in the scene to film one character, and then they go around, they do the other. But I didn't do that. I just kind of did it to air to myself, and I would record the lines, and I would act opposite my own voice and imagine myself being there, and then I'd flip around and do the other side. But there are other things that are challenging that are unanticipated. One of the first is how we open the show, which is I come out of a grave in the woods, and when I read this script, I thought, oh, that's a really striking kind of way to start this series. And I didn't quite really think through the practicalities, like the actual process of shooting myself coming out of the ground, and it was terrible. It was a terrible experience.
Coming out of a grave in a diaper, essentially.
Wearing a diaper, wrapped in a plastic bag, bursting out from a grave, and it was very discombobulating and stressful. And they had a straw, like a tube, that went underground and was sticking out into the grave, so that when I laid down in this open grave and they put dirt on top of me, I could breathe. Otherwise, I couldn't do it. And some natural instinct in me, as that we all have, knows this is not right.
No,
this doesn't feel right, and I should not be here. And it was very nerve-wracking.
This show deals with some pretty big existential questions. Are you the kind of person that kind of like thinks about those things? Like, do you like lose sleep thinking of like, am I living in a computer simulation?
I thought about that quite often, actually, and have had really interesting conversations with professors and scientists about the possibility that we really are living in a computer simulation. I find quantum physics, in a very rudimentary sense, to be quite fascinating.
Yeah.
And I like to read up on it in so much as I understand it. It's a pretty heady topic. But when you talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I did talk to several people who know what they're talking about when I was working on Ant-Man, because we were going into this whole idea of quantum realms and things like this, some of these subjects, such as, look, we might be in a computer simulation. If anybody's in a computer simulation, they wouldn't know they were in a simulation. All of these ideas of just parallels, and I find all of that really, really fascinating.
You also, in this one, have to act like you're having sex for the first time. Your clone basically has sex for the first time.
That's right.
Super challenging?
Yeah. It's always anything to do with anything sexual is challenging. The fact that I'm playing a character who's kind of like the first time lent itself to some comedic moments. And Aisling B, who plays Kate, the woman I'm acting opposite in the scene and in the show, is so naturally funny that it did make it a little bit easier, because we were able to kind of make some jokes and make it seem like we were not completely in sync, which is good, because it's a weird thing to have to do for your job.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like a natural act.
It's not. I mean, it's a natural act.
It isn't natural.
in the grand scheme of things.
But not with the cameras and for other people's enjoyment.
Well, that could be a natural act with the cameras,
I suppose,
too.
That's true.
But it depends on who you are and where the cameras are.
Okay. New topic.
No, let's talk about your sex tape, Josh. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I'm not asking for any dirt, but I'm just curious. Did you grow up? You must have grown up as a Ghostbusters fan. You shot the new Ghostbusters movie. You were about 15 when the first one came out. Who did you identify with? Did you memorize that film when it came out? What's it like to be in the new one?
Ghostbusters. Oh my God, I loved Ghostbusters, and I just finished working on this other version that comes out next year. And, as a Ghostbusters fan, it was really exciting. And I think Ghostbusters fans will hopefully enjoy it and get something from it. And it very much exists in that world. So even down to the director, Jason Reitman, who's a great filmmaker, but Ivan Reitman, his father, directed the original Ghostbusters. And so there was a family business kind of feel to it that I think enhanced and added to the proceedings.
I couldn't be more excited. And last thing, it's 25-year anniversary of Friends. Is it a daily occurrence that you're called crap bag?
I don't get it every day, but there are moments when somebody would just go, "Hey, crap bag." And it's in those moments that I just hope they're talking about Friends.
How did the kids respond when Dad is called crap bag in their presence?
They say, "Mom, come on, leave him alone."
That was a softball. My crap bag always, buddy.